Welcome to the speech sound activities video for the R sound, as in ring or car. I'm Nancy, an Alberta Health Services pediatric speech language pathologist, also called a speech therapist. In this video, you'll learn how to use the ideas and activities from the Supporting Your Child's Speech video series. You'll find these strategies easier to use if you watch that video series first. If you've noticed your child's having difficulty with the R sound, try the ideas in this video. This sound can be challenging for children to say and learn. If your child is 6 years of age or older, and you're concerned they're having difficulty with this sound, talk to a speech therapist. First, let's learn about this sound. The R sound is particularly difficult because the way it sounds changes depending on the word. It can be made in different ways, and it's a hard sound to explain and show your child how to make. The R sound is difficult because the way it sounds changes depending on the word it's in. For example, R says at the beginning of words like rain or in words like fur and bird. It says R in words like bar and car. And it says or in words like corn and more. Since there are many variations of this sound, this video uses the R sound to describe them all. The R sound is also difficult to learn because there are two ways to make it. One way is the bunched R. To make the bunched R, slide your tongue back and up. The sides of the back of your tongue touch the insides of your upper back teeth. When you do this, the tongue is bunched. Most people use the bunched R. The other way to make this sound is the retroflex R. To make the retroflex R, place the tip of your tongue just behind your upper front teeth. Then curl it back toward the roof of your mouth. Finally, it's difficult for children to learn the R sound because it's hard to see how it's made. It's also difficult for children to understand how to make the R sound when others explain it. A common mistake children make when learning this sound is not moving their tongue correctly. This happens whether your child is using a bunched or retroflexed R. You might hear mistakes at the beginning, middle, and end of words. For example, when R is at the beginning of words, your child may say one instead of run. When R comes after vowel sounds in the middle or the end of words, your child might say cowed instead of card, or foe instead of for. R can also occur as part of a consonant blend. A consonant blend is when 2 or 3 consonants are beside each other and blend together, like in brown or straw. Your child might have difficulty with blends and say things like bown or stwa. Most children can make this sound correctly by 6 years of age. If your child is under 6 years of age, try the strategies in this video to help them develop this sound. If your child is 6 years of age or older, try the strategies and reach out to a speech therapist if you're concerned. Now, let's talk about how to help with the R sound. As you start to focus on the sound with your child, try to do it in a fun way. When they make a mistake, don't correct them. This can make them feel bad about talking. Help your child learn the R sound by using sound activities. A sound activity is a short time when you highlight the sound for your child. The goal is to create sound awareness. You create sound awareness by helping your child hear the sound and see the sound. There are 3 ways you can help your child hear the R sound. You can use modeling, talking about the sound, and pre-reading skills. Start by modeling the R sound for your child. This means emphasizing it and repeating it often in an activity. For example, I have a pair of aces. Pair has our air sound. Air, air, air. You can emphasize the sound by pausing before you say pair and saying the word a little louder. You can also repeat pair and say air a few times by itself. You can also talk about the sound. Give it a name, like the pirate sound, R, or the growly bear sound, R. Or, like in this video, call it the R sound. The last way you can help your child hear the sound is to use pre-reading skills, like alliteration and rhyming. Alliteration means to say many words that start with R, like Ruby the rabbit ran to the river. Point out the sound to your child. Say, I hear at the beginning of Ruby, rabbit, ran, and river. You can also highlight rhyming words. Say something that rhymes like her cat with the black fur said purr, purr, purr. Point out the sound to your child. Say her, fur, and purr all have at the end. Sound activities are also a chance to help your child see and understand the sound. It's hard to show your child how to move the tongue for the R sound, but you can help them see the sound by using gestures or actions and letters. Add a gesture or action as you make the R sound. Point to your mouth as you make the sound, like red or star. Point to your ear to encourage your child to listen to the sound, like fire or 3. You can also encourage your child to see the sound by using letters. Point to the letter R as you read books or see them on signs. Trace the letters with your finger. Count the letters. Draw letters in the air or on paper. You can also highlight the letters in words with a marker. When using sound activities, your child may or may not copy you. If they copy you, they may or may not be able to make the sound correctly. The goal of a sound activity is to let your child hear and see the sound, not to put pressure on them to say it. Let's look at how to use sound activities throughout the day. You can use a sound activity in a daily routine, like dressing, bedtime, or getting ready for school. Watch how to use a sound activity in a daily routine.
Oh, you're combing your hair. Hair has our air sound. Air, air, air. Hair, bear, care, they all rhyme. They have air at the end of them.
You can also create a sound activity during play. This can be any type of play, including play with games or toys. Let's watch how to use a sound activity in play.
What do you want to play?
With the waist plaque.
Ooh, race. That has the R sound. Er. Which car do you want to use? That's the red race car. That also has the R sound. Er. That's kind of like a pirate sound. Let's try it out.
Include sound activities while reading books. Books work well for sound activities because they repeat words and use alliteration and rhyme. Use the print in the book to help your child see the sound. Look for books that repeat words with the R sound. Some books that work well to highlight the R sound include The Little Mouse the red ripe strawberry, and the big hungry bear. The rainbow fish. Clark the shark. Bear feels scared. Let's watch how to do this.
Oh, you're reading the ice chips and the magical rink. Rink starts with the R sound. Rink. There are other R sounds too, as in Roy and Carrie.
Use a song, rhyme, or finger play as a sound activity. Make sure to emphasize key words, sing slow, and use the gestures. Use songs that repeat the R sound like row, row, row your boat. It's raining, it's pouring. Round and round the garden. And ring around the rosy. Include sound activities throughout the day, however they work best for you and your child. There's no specific way to use sound activities. Simply use the strategies to hear and see the R sound that fit the activity you choose. The most important part is keeping it fun and with no pressure. These ideas will get you started, but if your child's over 6 years of age and needs more help, reach out to a speech therapist. Keep watching our video series if you want sound activity ideas for another speech sound.
Find more information, support, and services for you and your child by clicking on the link in the description below.